What's going on, Investomaniacs? Your boy and Knight Rider here, and today we're talking about that reefer, talking about that marijuana, talking about that weed, that puff puff.
I feel like I got transported to another planet, man. I feel like I'm on Mars, man.
We're talking about the weed. Hey, this is a real easy area to lose all of your money, so you need to be careful. Just look at the stocks of the weed companies last year, right? Just look at them. And then kind of, right? Okay. A lot of volatility. And a lot of these companies are still grossly overvalued. Even though there are tons of smaller companies to invest in, don't really want to invest in those, way too risky, there are a couple big names. Having said that, there's really only one name you should be shopping for, and that's if you're shopping for any of these weed names at all. Some of the larger players are Canopy Growth, Aurora Cannabis, Cronos, and Tilray. So, if you want to get into this space, which company should you choose? Canopy Growth. And I've got 4 billion reasons why. Thanks to a $4 billion investment by Constellation Brands, that's an alcohol company who produces drinks like Corona, Modelo, and Pacifico. Canopy Growth is the most well-funded option in this space. Canopy has used this money to increase production, bring new products to market, expand in the United States and international markets, as well as make a few acquisitions. Along with Aurora, it is the current revenue king of cannabis. Aurora's management is also in the middle of an aggressive expansion plan where they are attempting to hike their current annualized production capacity of 150,000 kilograms to over 625,000 kilograms by mid-2020. That is not that far away, people. This massive production increase could work out, or it could backfire, resulting in a whole bunch of unsold inventory due to market saturation between multiple competitors all trying to grasp the same growing market and result in significant write-offs for the company. There is a very real possibility we are going to see overproduction in this space, so you need to have a strong balance sheet with your company. Aurora has about $500 million in cash. Canopy Growth has about $5 billion in cash. Canopy is the superior choice here. Then we have Tilray. For about the past year, Tilray has been scaling up production to serve the Canadian market, where marijuana is now recreationally legal. Tilray has lucrative partnership opportunities with Anheuser-Busch, InBev, and Novartis. However, Tilray only has 37% the trailing 12-month revenue of Canopy. This space is risky enough as it is. Therefore, provided it is a reasonable valuation, we want to invest in the leader of this space. And Canopy is that business. Plus, Tilray only has $325 million in cash, and they are at risk of being crushed if times get difficult, which they probably will, let's be honest. Now, let's talk about Cronos Group. Cronos is not a bad company. It's just not as good of an investment option as Canopy. Canopy's strong balance sheet cannot be overstated, as it gives Canopy the capital needed to expand quickly and absorb setbacks. Cronos Group has been an extremely volatile stock, which makes sense as it is the smallest of the 4 companies, at least in terms of revenue, with only 12% of the revenue of Canopy. Cronos has a partnership with cigarette giant Altria. Cronos does appear to be moving a bit slower and more conservatively relative to Tilray and Aurora, and hasn't seemed to be in as much of a hurry to use Altria's distribution expertise to expand into the consumer products space. Cronos has chose to not emphasize production capacity growth to nearly the same extent as other marijuana companies. This may decrease the probability of Cronos being stuck holding significant inventory it can't sell, but also limits your upside. Cronos has a strong balance sheet with $2.4 billion in cash, and that will go far considering they are being somewhat conservative in their growth and are just right now a smaller company than, say, Canopy. Nonetheless, Canopy is still your leader in this space. Regardless of which company you choose, you'll likely see quite a bit of volatility. Make sure you're okay with that. Personally, I'm not currently a fan of the cannabis space. I'm generally not a fan of investing in commodities, and I think there are safer growth companies out there. I have no doubt that cannabis sales will see rapid growth for many years to come, but it is important to remember industry growth does not necessarily equate to shareholder growth for an individual company, especially when it comes to commodities, which marijuana for the most part is. I mean, yeah, okay, there's Dan Bilzerian's Ignite chicks. But other than that, yeah, come on, it's kind of a commodity, right? Kind of a commodity. Having said that, if you do want to be in this space, Canopy Growth is your best option. Everyone knows marijuana is going to grow. No pun intended. And everyone is throwing their money at the space indiscriminately, which raises valuations above where they should be. So let's take a quick history lesson. In the early 1900s, everyone knew commercial airliners were going to be the thing of the future. That was the new space, and everybody threw their money at it, and airliners started popping up left and right, left and right. But at the end of the day, commercial transportation, it's just a commodity, bro. You're just going from point A to point B. It ain't your car. You don't keep it. You're just renting it. It's a commodity. So what happens when you flood a commodity market with a whole bunch of supply? A lot of companies go out of business. So here is a list of the very first airliners in America. St. Petersburg, Tampa Airport Line, defunct. Chalk's Ocean Airways, defunct. Let's see here. Aeromine, West Indies, defunct. And make sure you're actually listening to this. But I'm doing this for a purpose. Florida Airways, defunct. Because you need to understand what can happen if you invest in a space. Delta, that's still around. Ryan Airline Company, defunct. National Air Transport, defunct. Ford Air Transport, defunct. Western Airlines, defunct. Pacific Air Transport, defunct. Varney Airlines, defunct. Eastern Airlines, defunct. Northwest Airlines, defunct. Colonial Air Transport, defunct. Pan American World Airways used to be the leader in the United States. Now it's defunct. Grand Canyon Airlines, still in operation. Never heard of it, but still in operation. Maddox Airlines, defunct. Standard Airlines, defunct. National Parks Airways, defunct. Wine Air Alaska, defunct. Paul R. Braniff, defunct. That's a weird sounding airline name. Defunct. Universal Airlines, defunct. Mid-Continent Airlines, defunct. Transcontinental Air Transport, defunct. Hawaiian Airlines, still in operation. Pan American Grace Airways, defunct. And Wiggins Airways, still in operation. So out of the first 27 U.S. airlines that were created, 23 of them have gone out of business. Okay, maybe that's a little bit of a downer to end on. I'm I'm probably gonna lose a whole bunch of money. So let's end on an up note, and how about we take a look at some more of those Ignite girls? Oh snap, this little bit more. Yeah, I'm gonna lose a bunch of money in this space, but at least I can look at some hot chicks. All right, here's a place I'll probably never go. All right, and here's probably a whole bunch of chicks I will never get to touch. Yeah, got some twins. Oh, I love parties that never end, dogs that love cats, and twins. And here is possibly the best weed advertisement in history. You go, Dan Bilzerian. Anyways, as Knight Rider, Investmania, subscribe if you haven't. You guys have a great day.